everyone, and welcome to my presentation. I believe you've all attended my first workshop on non-dairy alternatives, and today, as I know most of you are pre-diabetic or have just been diagnosed with diabetes type 2, we are going to go into, what exactly is diabetes, and then, some ways that you can make healthy food choices, specifically carbohydrates and portion control to help control your disease. And by the way, my name is Andrea ALS. I'm a registered dietitian for Kaiser Permanente. So just as I said, our objective is for you all to understand what diabetes is, and then I'm going to have some specifics on what is a serving size and what you can incorporate into your meal. And basically, this presentation will include a few interactive workshops and quick crossword puzzle so that you can apply your knowledge that I have given you to how to control your disease. So we're going to start with what diabetes is. And basically, insulin is the hormone produced in the body that diabetes relates to. It's what starts when you think about the disease and kind of what goes wrong. And what we want to do is get into the normal range of our blood level. Does anybody know what you test when you're trying to control your diabetes?
Glucose.
Glucose, so your blood sugar. So when insulin is the hormone produced by the body and your body is resistant to insulin, then your body is unable to convert the glucose, the sugar and starches into your energy for a daily life. Then your blood sugars are elevated, and that is when you have the irregular symptoms. So right here we have, right at your meal, this is after your meal, and if you have something that your body can't handle and you have too many carbohydrates, your blood sugar is going to spike and it's going to go in this red zone. And what we'd like to do is keep it into the yellow zone so that your body can control whatever you're consuming. So, like I said, what is a carbohydrate and what in terms of glucose. And right here I have a carbohydrate molecule. And what that entails is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And does anybody know, what one of the highest carbohydrates is that has glucose in it? What kind of? Potatoes. Yes, starches. So potatoes, bread products, cereals, they're carbohydrates that are heavy glucose molecules. So they affect since the glucose molecule is what is in your blood that you're trying to monitor, if a food that you're eating has a lot of these glucose molecules, that is what is really going to affect your blood sugar quicker than, let's say if you ate something that had a lower amount of glucose molecules in it. So what you're going to need to do is monitor your diabetes in a healthy range. So I'm going to show you that the magic number is 30 grams of carbohydrates is what you're going to try to aim for in all of your meals. And I'm going to show you what that is because, today in the U.S. our portions are all over the map. And, you could go to, let's say, Cheesecake Factory, and you think that you have 30 grams of carbohydrates and you may have 90. So we're going to look at some label reading. So there's 4 basic steps, and the number one step in all of this is look at your serving size, because as I said, you could be totally off in what constitutes a serving size. So can anyone tell me what the serving size is for this? Just cereal? 1 cup? 1 cup. So I brought 1 cup. And I think that a great tip is to, go to the 99-cent store, get some just plastic cups to keep with you, and if you measure your food out for a few days, after a week, you'll be able to eye it right out of that. So now we're going to go and we're going to look at how many grams of carbohydrates are in each serving size. So can anyone see? Yes, this is 20 grams. 20 grams. So if you do some math, if 1 cup equals 20 grams, how many cups equal 30 grams? 1.5. So just measure it out, and there you've reached your limit. So here's another label. This is some pasta. And also you can always do a little equation, and you can plug this into the equation. We have pasta. Can anyone tell me how many grams are in pasta? 44. So then if you put this into the equation, you'll get about 68%, and that's about 3/4 of a cup. So that would be fine. So now we're going to look at our crossword puzzle. So I think you guys could break into teams, and then maybe we could give you maybe 1 minute, 1.5 minutes to see who can finish. And this is just actually a perfect example of it's 1 cup and it's 30 grams, so that's pretty easy. So I will tell you all when to start. So I will give you 1.5 minutes from now.
Starch. They're going down starch.
All right, we have about a minute left. Give you guys a minute and a half.
Sorry. I didn't see that thing. Okay. I was like, no,
I think we have a winner, so I'll let everyone else go. Second place. Okay. Okay, we have one group. You guys have a question? All right. So, this is actually a pretty basic label. 30 grams is served with carbohydrates. So, for my conclusion, I'm going to have you all fill out a questionnaire, and we can go over this and see if there's any gray areas, and then moving forward, see how you can apply this to your everyday life. Because as I know you all heard in other presentations, it's important to make your right food choices, because that's when you can avoid medications and just really take control of your life. Because as cliche as it is, knowledge is power, and if you know what you're eating, you'll be able to control your type 2 diabetes a lot better than if you aren't knowledgeable. And I'm kind of playing up that you guys may be more efficient than the average person.
What about other people?
All right, so does anyone know how many grams of carbohydrates should be in a meal for 30? And does anyone know the correct serving size of a bagel? Half. Great. And what items should be eaten daily? Grains. And what is the correct serving size of pasta? There you go. And what is the correct serving size of unsweetened Cheerios? All right, and does anyone have any questions? I've also left my email right here. And, you know, as I said, I hope that, you know, you're able to understand how your body processes carbohydrates and glucose and what now you can make the correct choices.
What kind of starch do you prefer us diabetics to be eating if we're making a meal for breakfast?
Whole grains is the best, or oatmeal. I didn't go into this, but fiber is something that kind of combats the glucose molecule, so it'll keep your blood sugar in the correct range, and it won't see that spike that you saw. Whole grains, you know, wheat toast.
Does glycemic index of like vegetables change anything?
You know, overall, fruit has a very high glycemic index, but vegetables, for the most part, they're pretty low. We usually like to say that, you know, your vegetables, your non-starchy vegetables, things that aren't like potatoes or something like that, are your buffet, and you can't go too high with your vegetables.
So if fruits have a higher glycemic index, would you say less of them?
Actually, individuals with type 2 diabetes, you should probably only have about 2 to 3 servings of fruit a day. It gets a little complicated with all the different kind of carbohydrates, but unfortunately they do have a